Here we go. Yo, what's going on? You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now live here on Chat Sports. It's a Wednesday, and no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, we appreciate you for making today's show a part of your day. And on this show, we're going to try to tackle this question here. What is Eagles general manager Howie Roseman going to do in the 2024 NFL Draft? Right now, Philadelphia has 8 picks. 3 selections inside the top 53. They were already very active in NFL free agency. So what is in store come draft time at the end of this month? As I can't believe we're already hanging out here on this April 3rd. So coming up here on the Eagles Now Rundown, I put together my perfect Eagles draft plan. We're going to do another Eagles mock draft. And, of course, we're going to open up the floor to talk to the most passionate fans in all of football. We're doing a mailbag. How do you get involved? Very, very easy. You're all in the comment section right now, so use the hashtag Eagles or send in a super chat. You can get your questions or your hot takes featured here on the show. Also at the end, after segment number 3, we are going to announce our March jersey winner. Everybody who sent in a super chat, $10 or more, was in the running. We thank you so much for your donations to the show. And now we're going to give away a Philadelphia Eagles jersey. With that, let's get the comment section going. Producer Jake Chipper on the ones and twos. I'm Chase Sr. Where are you? Because we're emanating live from the Chat Sports studios here. Engineer John, Little G Griffith, Don Ackerley, Theus Grizz, Andy, Millie315, John Oden, all in the comment section right now. As everybody ventures in here, please support the show by hitting that thumbs up icon and liking the video. Don Ackerley, Let's Go Birds. You can type LGB in the comment section for Let's Go Birds. T-Hop, Rockford, Illinois. Nice. Used to live and work in Springfield. That was my first job out of college. John Oden, Colorado. Down from West Tennessee from Don. Ant TC Panda. 717 area code. I was just in Lancaster over the weekend visiting some family. Alling, type in LGB for Let's Go Birds. Ed Ramos, he's Eddie Philly, watching from the 215. Orlando from Jake, Millie315, LGB. Brian Reed, Slower, Lower, Delaware. Grew up in Westchester, so if we wanted to do some big shopping, maybe getting some alcohol, getting some clothes, oftentimes we'd cross that Delaware border, no tax, so you could save some money. If you want to save some money on your tickets, make sure you do so with Game Time. You're guaranteed to get in the door, best seats, lowest price guaranteed, and I'm telling you what, Game Time is the only app that I use for a multitude of reasons. And let me tell you why it's my favorite ticketing app and the only ticketing app that I do utilize. It's the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. All-in prices show your total up front, so you know you're getting a great deal before you check out. You can buy tickets in seconds with 2 taps on your phone. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event, and even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute deals. You can get $20 off. Use the code CHATSPORTS. Sixer season coming down to the wire, trying to get out of the NBA play-in tournament. Joel Embiid making his return last night. Thought he was really good defensively. Moments offensively, considering hasn't played basketball in a really long time, and it was great to see the process back on the floor for Philadelphia. Chipper and I, we have our own Sixers channel, Sixers Now. Be sure to subscribe to that, but be sure to download the Game Time app. You want to go to a Phillies game as well. Plenty of tickets available on that front. You can go to sporting events. You can go to concerts, comedy shows, theater. Game Time has it all, and they have you covered. And we have you covered with the phenomenal deal. $20 off, code CHATSPORTS. That link is down below in the comment section and in the description of this video. Pretty cool to see Larry watching from Lancaster. Like I said, I was there over the weekend for Easter. Elijah Stovall, 615 area code. I live in the 931. Phone is 559. Our real one tuned in all the way from Tennessee. Speaking of all of the real ones, like I said, we're going to be announcing the winner of our March jersey giveaway. And here's our Super Chat menu. All Super Chats get a shout out. $10 gets you in the running for our April jersey race. $20 is an Eagle beer cheers. $50 you can sign our Philadelphia Eagles helmet. $100, we got some shotguns ready to go. Let's party. It's a wacky Wednesday here on Eagles Now. If you want to get on the program, use the hashtag Eagles or send in a super chat. That's how you can get your questions and your hot takes featured on the show. And before we get started, producer Jake Chipper, how you doing on this Wednesday here?
Yo! What up, what up, what up? It's Wednesday, baby. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. And let's do this before we get started. We're in a studio right now where our bullpen and our office is like right around here. And sometimes our coworkers like to say we're a little bit obnoxious. I want everybody to type E in the comment section right now. Because when you type E in the comment section, that gets us started with this. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! Let's go. Rock the Artist, Brian Reed, Don Ackerley, Antsy Panda, Jake, Troy Singleton. We're ready to go. Are you ready to talk some Eagles? If that's the case, hit that thumbs up icon and like the video, and I'm going to make a deal for the people. Segment number 1, my perfect Eagles draft plan. If we get a $50 super chat by the end of that segment, we're going to pour up some drinks here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. We're going to get the party started, and I will do a shotgun for all of the homies. Continue to hit that thumbs up icon. Please like the video. 160 people watching, only 40 likes. If you're a true Eagles fan, if you love this show and you're about that business, then you should hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. Brazzy Smack's already getting in that mailbag question. That's phenomenal. Young Bull Jamal, where are the rumors at? We haven't started the official show yet, but we're about to start the official show right now. We need 50 likes. We just got up to 49. Let's get past that 50 number, but we shouldn't stop there. 3, 2, 1. Philadelphia Eagles Now is live, and the live show officially is underway and officially begins right now. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Let's do it. You're watching Philadelphia Eagles Now right here on Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, as always, we appreciate you for making today's show a part of your day. On the rundown, I put together my perfect Philadelphia Eagles draft plan. What I would do if I was in the shoes of Howie Roseman and what the Eagles have to do to crush the 2024 NFL draft. Let's start by taking a look at the Eagles draft picks here at the end of April in Detroit. They first get on the clock, round 1, pick 22. Really good player could be available in that slot. Then Philadelphia has 2 picks in the second round at 50 via New Orleans, and then a few picks later at 53 overall. I love the situation that the Eagles are in here with 3 picks inside the top 53. They can get some impact players at those draft slots. They do not have a round 3 selection. Back on the board, round 4, 120 overall from Pittsburgh via the Los Angeles Rams as part of that Kenny Pickett trade. Round 5, 161 from Tampa Bay. And then a few compensatory picks to round out their draft selections. 2 in round 5, 171, 172. And then a selection in round 6, pick 210. That is also a compensatory pick. I would be surprised if Howie Roseman doesn't do some moving and shaking during the 3 days of the NFL draft, because that's how he does business. As for the dates of the NFL draft, we will be live right here on Eagles Now for every single pick, every single day. Draft getting underway Thursday, April 25th, goes through Saturday, April 27th. The draft this year, as I mentioned, is in Detroit. But look out for our content on Sunday as well, because we'll discuss every pick that the Eagles make. We'll do some draft grades. But then on Sunday, you can find out some of the UDFAs that the Eagles signed. Players who have made an impact on this Eagles roster in previous years, like Reed Blankenship and Eli Ricks. The Eagles' remaining needs, that really sets the table for what we want to accomplish on today's show. I think the number one need for this organization, cornerback spot, edge rusher, offensive line, defensive tackle. Those areas of need follow the cornerback position, and then wide receiver 3, backup running back, linebacker, and safety. Let's get my perfect draft plan started with point number 1. Philadelphia Eagles have to find a stud outside cornerback opposite of Darius Slay. And then once Darius Slay starts to get a little bit older, once he moves on because Father Time is undefeated, that young cornerback then becomes your franchise cornerstone at that DB spot. And what I would do, stay tuned, I'll let you know. Here are the top cornerbacks, though, who could be available for Philadelphia. Quinyon Mitchell, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Terrion Arnold, Nate Wiggins, and Cooper DeJean. These are my top 5 cornerbacks in this class. And my dream target for the Eagles here, we've talked about this player quite a bit, that's Quinyon Mitchell. And what I would do if I was Howie Roseman, I'd be working the phones on Thursday night, and I'd somehow try to pull off a trade to move up for the Toledo cornerback. And here is my trade idea that I want to present to the audience here. The Denver Broncos are rebuilding. They need multiple picks. They don't have a second-round pick. And they need to address multiple areas of need on that Broncos roster. So I'm going to send Denver pick 22, pick 53, and then that pick that the Eagles got back from the New York Jets in that Hassan Reddick deal, that could be a 2026 third-rounder, which could become a second. I'm giving that away because Philadelphia is going to have their own third and or second-round pick in 2026. And I give that to Denver in exchange for the number 12 overall pick. And if Quinyon Mitchell is there, that's the player that I'm drafting. He has been a steady contributor at the college level. I understand that he played at the small school level, but the pass breakup numbers the last 2 years, tremendous. He set a school record with all of those numbers there. His Pro Football Focus numbers were out of this world. He has great speed, good length, good ball skills, good ball awareness. I think he is a plug-and-play day one guy, and Eagles fans would absolutely love the swagger that Quinyon Mitchell brings to the football field. And from day one, if he plays on the other side of Darius Slay, I think that's immediate upgrades for this Eagles secondary. Perfect draft plan number 2. Address the offensive line depth issues right now. Philadelphia lost Sua Opeta, lost Jack Driscoll. They're unsure if Cam Jurgens is going to start at center, which then brings us to another question. Who's going to start at right guard? Philadelphia has had a great offensive line over the last couple of years, one of the best in the NFL. They've really built their team around the trenches, offensively, defensively. I want that to continue to be the backbone of this team. And the Eagles in the draft, they could go guard now, who then later becomes the replacement at right tackle for Lane Johnson. Philadelphia also has to see if Cam Jurgens is indeed going to be their center. And their actions in the draft are going to be very telling. Jurgens, as a rookie in the preseason 2 years ago, I thought he played well at center. We got to see him out in space on some of those pull blocks, and the Eagles have the best offensive line coach in the NFL in Jeff Stoutland. I have confidence he's going to be able to develop Cam Jurgens. Does that mean that Tyler Steen is going to be at right guard? Again, the Eagles' plans and what they do in the draft are going to tell a story for what they think of Cam Jurgens, who is hand-selected by Jason Kelce. Howie Roseman asked Kelce to help him out in that search for his replacement, and it's going to tell us a lot about what they think about Tyler Steen. The good news for Philadelphia, this is a very deep draft class at offensive tackle and along the interior at the guard and center spots. The top offensive tackle prospects, no way Joe Alt or Olu Fashanu are going to be available for Philadelphia. J.C. Latham is probably going to be a top 15 pick. Talius Fuaga, Troy Fatanu, they could be top 15 selections as well. And all those players would require a big trade up for Philadelphia in my estimation, because I think all 5 of these players are going to be studs. At number 22, or if the Eagles trade back, or if they trade back into the first round, or maybe some of these players are available to start around 2, this is that next wave of solid players. You have Kingsley Suamataia out of BYU, Amarius Mims out of Georgia, Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma, Patrick Paul Houston, and Blake Fisher out of Notre Dame. Not all of these players, again, are going to be selected in round 1, So all these players could be in the Eagles' range depending on what they decide to do in the draft. Another player to watch is Karan Amagaji out of Yale. Didn't start playing football until high school. The Eagles went to his pro day. They really like him. Jeff Stoutland reportedly blown away by his smarts, considering he's a late bloomer and hasn't played a lot of football in his life. 6'5", 326, little bit of a project that screams Howie Roseman pick. Now, the Eagles could also go on the interior of the offensive line. And just like there are a lot of really good tackles available, some very solid interior offensive linemen who could be impact players for the next decade. Jackson Powers Johnson, I think, is the best center in this class. Graham Barton is pole for pole with him. Barton did play left tackle and center at Duke. Is he a center? Is he a guard? Is he a tackle? At his pro day, a lot of teams had him working at center. So if the Eagles go with JPJ or they go with Graham Barton, that would tell me they like those players to be the future center and Jason Kelce replacement and not Cam Jurgens, or maybe they don't like Tyler Steen and they keep Jurgens at right guard because he had experience there this past year. Jordan Morgan out of Arizona, an offensive guard who played tackle at the college level. Arms are a little bit shorter, but going up against some premier pass rushers in the Pac-12, he was able to hold his own. And then I really like Cooper Beebe out of Kansas State, and then Zach Frazier out of West Virginia, a very good center too. It would be peak Howie Roseman, and I would not be surprised if the Eagles do go offensive line in the first round. And I know it's not going to be the sexy pick, right? But keep in mind that if you get a good offensive lineman, he could be a part of this organization for the next 10 plus years. And if that impact player is selected in the first round, that's worthy of that investment if they're a marquee contributor for a long time. Also, having picks number 50 and 53 gives the Eagles a lot of flexibility come draft time, because whatever they do in round one, they could go to those needs and or best players available at 50 and 53, and those are premium draft selections there. With that, this is our poll question for today's show. What is the biggest need for the Eagles in the NFL draft? I think it's cornerback. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section. I'm going to let you know what I think about the Game Time app. It's the best app if you're looking to go to a sporting event, comedy show, concert, or if you're into theater. Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. All-in prices show your total up front, so you know you're getting a great deal before you check out. Unlike all of those other ticketing apps, which hit you with those late fees later on, and that gets you really frustrated, makes it a longer process too. Buy tickets in seconds with just 2 taps on the Game Time app. It has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event, or even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute seats, find exclusive flash deals, sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. And with zone deals, you pick the section, Game Time picks the seats for big-time savings. And the Game Time guarantee, what does that mean, Chase? I got you covered. That means that you'll always get the best price. So if you find tickets in the same section and row for less elsewhere, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code CHATSPORTS. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Step number 3. Philadelphia Eagles have A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith. I really like the 1-2 punch at the wide receiver position for Philadelphia. That goes without saying. A.J. Brown has had 2 of the best years ever for any Eagles wide receiver, and DeVonta Smith 3 years in, he has certainly made good on the Eagles' decision to draft him in the first round after he won the Heisman Trophy at Alabama. But wide receiver 3 is an issue. Devontae Parker in the last 4 years has been last in the NFL in separation. You signed Paris Campbell, a speedster who's never been able to stay healthy, to be your wide receiver 3 or 4. You have Britton Covey, Joseph Nagata. But there are day 2 and day 3 targets in the draft that I think could be of the Eagles' liking here. Some of my favorites, Roman Wilson, Jalen Polk, DeVonta Walker, Brendan Rice, and Luke McCaffrey. These are players who are day 2 and day 3 targets. You like Ricky Pearsall out of Florida? I do as well. He's more of a slot guy. Roman Wilson, more of a slot guy. Luke McCaffrey, slot wide receiver. Jalen Polk, DeVonta Walker, Brendan Rice. You can throw them out as an X or in the slot. They bring all types of different makeups to this Eagles roster. It really comes down to this. What are the Eagles looking for at wide receiver? A shifty and crafty slot? That could be Roman Wilson, Luke McCaffrey, Ricky Pearsall. Are they looking for a vertical burner? That could be a DeVonta Walker, a Jalen Polk, one of those types of players to take the place of Quez Watkins and take the top off of this defense. At number 4, Eagles let go of Avonte Maddox to save some money. Still hasn't signed with the team. I would not rule out a reunion. What I would do, I'd start new. And I think the Eagles have to find a day 1 ready to go slot cornerback. Because right now, if you look at this Eagles depth chart at the cornerback spot, it would be Tyler Hall, Josh Jobe, Mario Goodrich. They could potentially play there. I think Keely Ringo, Eli Ricks, they are more perimeter corners. We saw Eli Ricks get some snaps in the slot, but he struggled a little bit there. Mike Sainristil still out of Michigan is my favorite slot nickel corner in this draft class. A converted wide receiver whose ball skills are on display because of that receiver background at cornerback. He is smaller, which is why you have to put him on the inside, but that's what the Eagles need here. Last year in coverage, he was targeted 50 times, gave up 29 catches, 412 yards, 4 touchdowns, 6 pass breakups, and 6 interceptions. He is a big-time playmaker who always seems to be in the right spot at the right time, and a quarterback rating allowed of 71.8. In 4 years at Michigan, you look at the numbers for him being a wide receiver and starting his career there under Jim Harbaugh. In 2021, it's not like he was seldom used. Like, he was used a good bit. 22 catches, 312 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But then he makes that switch to the cornerback spot, and I think that's really helped elevate his play. First year, playing a whole new position. 6.5 TFL, so he could play around the line like Avonte Maddox did, make tackles in the backfield. 7 PBUs and 1 pick. And then he upped those interception numbers to have 6 this past year en route to a national championship, and he picked off Michael Penix in the national championship. At number 5, how about we reset the running back clock? Yes, Eagles signed Saquon Barkley. 2-year, $26 million in guaranteed money. I get it. But if he gets hurt, are you confident in Kenny Gainwell to be that every down back? Kenny Gainwell is also going to be a free agent after 2024. So I'm looking at some running backs here who could be good backups, who could step in, have some solid workload as a rookie, and then down the road, they could develop with time into very solid ball carriers. And Philadelphia has always had very good running backs all throughout their franchise history. I love Blake Corum. He's shorter, but he's powerful. He can run in between the tackles. He's elusive enough to get out to the outside. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, which is what the Eagles like to utilize from their running backs. Just a great team leader as well. Marshawn Lloyd is a player who I think a lot of people are sleeping on. And recently a clip went viral of his 40-yard dash at the Combine. His family, or his girlfriend's family, from around the Philadelphia area, I think, with the accents that I heard. And I just think he's a really good player. Will Shipley out of Clemson, just because he's white, people are like, oh, he's the next Christian McCaffrey. He moves a little bit like Christian McCaffrey. He can make people miss short area quickness. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, a good red zone threat. He's not big enough, nor is he good enough to be an every down running back, but you're not asking him to do that. Isaac Guerendo, great size, an absolute burner, running a 4.3 40-yard dash. He's a home run threat every time he gets his hands on the football. And a lot of people in league circles, like Kamani Vidal out of Troy, he's looked at as one of the best pass blocking backs in this draft, and I think he's a talented ball carrier as well. Final thoughts here on this perfect draft plan segment. Are the Eagles cool with the defensive tackle situation? It's certainly an interesting one, but it is now time for Jalen Carter to take that leap going into year 2, for Jordan Davis to get into better shape and live up to those first-round expectations going into year 3. They signed P.J. Mustafa as a backup nose tackle. They have Muro Ajomo, Marlon Tupulutu, and it looks like they're going to run a 3-4 under Vic Fangio, so that kind of changes, maybe moving away from a traditional defensive tackle in a way and looking at nose tackle and defensive tackles in the post-Fletcher Cox era. I would not rule out defensive tackle at some point in this draft, but you have a couple of young players who you need to see if they can play, and Milton Williams is also one of them who I'm very high on. Before we hop on out of here for this particular segment, be sure to subscribe to the show. More draft content to come all throughout this month of April. Go Birds, hit that sub button. We love you. Thanks for watching. Recent commenter club, Ant C Panda, Deep Space, Elijah Singletary, Don Ackerley, Joe Ennis, Emmanuel Zorg, Tyler Phillips, all in the chat. Thank you so much for watching the show. If you want to send us in a tip and donate to the show as well, all super chats will get a shout out. $10 gets you into our April jersey race. We'll give away an Eagles jersey at the end of this month. We're going to give away an Eagles jersey from the month of March at the end of this show. Eagles beer cheers for a $20 super chat. $50 gets you on our Eagles full-size helmet. And then if anybody sends in a $100 super chat, we're going to shotgun a beer. Here's that beautiful Eagles helmet. A lot of real ones with some gold stickers here on this helmet. If you want to get on the show, hashtag Eagles or super chat. We're going to do a mock draft for segment number 2, then a mailbag for segment number 3. Get those questions in right now.
Yes,
Reed
sir.
Bartkus, shout out Chase and Chip. Reed. Talk to you tomorrow at 10:30 Central. Sorry, Rhett is this week from Ant C Panda, and then Bob Reagan tuned in from Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Deep Space saying salute. Salute to you, my guy. Make sure you continue to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video, by the way. We're sitting at 79 likes. Can't stop the stream unless we get to 100 likes. So please support the show for free by liking the video here. Dragon tuned in once again from Serbia. John Odin using the hashtag Eagles. Hey, Chase, are you guys going to watch WrestleMania this weekend? You know what I'm going to be doing? Friday night, I'm watching Caitlin Clark in Iowa against Paige Beckers in UConn. And then Saturday, I don't know where, but we're trying to get some homies together from Chat Sports to watch the Final Four. That's what I'll be doing. Maybe I'll tap in to some WrestleMania.
It pains me. I wish I was watching Clemson in the Final Four, man.
Yeah.
It pains me.
Chip, a Clemson alum. But a great run to the Elite Eight.
Great run. Had a lot of fun watching those games, man. Never thought I'd see the day where they made that type of run.
Yeah, like I went to Temple. John Chaney went to 5 Elite Eights. Never once got to the Final Four. But you think about 5 Elite Eights, that's every year you're in the tournament. You're in the running to win a national championship. You're a team that people take very, very seriously. Ant C Panda, if you win the lottery off a super chat, how much would the chatter get back? That was a question on the radio today. Are you talking about the Powerball in Pennsylvania? I was just there over the weekend in Lancaster, and I think it's at, what, 100 million, somebody told me? So you have to factor in some taxes that would get taken out. I threw some money on Iowa and a Bama parlay from Jake. Nice. I want Caitlin Clark to win a national championship so bad. Last year I'm watching her, and I'm like, she's the female version of Steph Curry.
Oh, she's insane.
But then you watch her evolution as a basketball player, the vision, the go-ahead passes in transition, setting up her teammates for success, maximizing them, getting space with some offensive moves to create space for her to get her shot off. She's so much more than just a shooter. What were you going to say, Chip?
Putting money on Bama up against UConn is a bold move.
That's a big payout right there.
Big payout if you win, but man, UConn, what have they won? Like, how many straight games have they won by double digits?
Every single game in last year's tournament combined with this year's tournament by double digits.
That's
a 30-0 run against Illinois in that second half to blow the doors open.
You never know, though. You never know. Bama's there for a reason. You never know.
King Javier, Chase, who do you have winning on Saturday? Roman Reigns and The Rock or Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes? I'm not going to lie. I am not too familiar with WrestleMania. If Jason Kelsey's in it, though, if Chip and I are watching the Final Four, we're going to have to find a way to watch Jason Kelsey in that because there's been some chatter about Jason Kelsey maybe being involved. All right, segment number 2, Philadelphia Eagles mock draft. That's what's coming up right now. We're going to rock out with our mocks out, and let's take a look at who I would pick with this mock draft right here. Yo, welcome into the show. This is Philadelphia Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr., and coming your way, NFL Draft is coming up at the end of April. It is time for another Philadelphia Eagles mock draft. All 7 rounds as the Eagles here are equipped with a total of 8 selections for Howie Roseman, this front office, and the scouting department to use at their disposal. Here are the Eagles selections as of right now. Round 1, pick 22. It's the first time that Philadelphia is going to be on the clock. The Eagles also have 2 picks in the second round, only a couple of picks apart. Number 50 overall from New Orleans, and then 53, which is their own pick. No selections in the third round, but Philadelphia back on the board. Round 4, pick 120. Round 5, pick 161 from Tampa Bay. And then 3 compensatory picks. 2 in round 5, 171 and 172 overall. So back-to-back selections there. And then the final pick for Philadelphia, round 6, pick 210. Also from the compensatory pick formula. Before we take a look at my newest mock draft, this will be my 3rd. Be sure to subscribe to the show. More draft content to come all throughout the month of April, in addition to the best Eagles news, best Eagles analysis, and of course, anytime there's a big report, anytime there's juicy rumors out there, we talk about that as well. Hit that sub button. And as always, go Birds. With Philadelphia on the clock, 22 overall, I'm going with the player who, outside of Quinion Mitchell, is my favorite cornerback in this class. That's Kool-Aid McKinstry. I love what he brings to the table as a bona fide stud on the outside. And during my perfect Eagles draft plan, I tried to work the phones to move up to take Quinion Mitchell. The asking price was just a little bit too high for Howie Roseman. That's why we stay at 22 here and we take Kool-Aid McKinstry. The thought with this pick, the Eagles need a number 1 cornerback for the future because Darius Slay is getting older. And you need another top-tier corner opposite of Darius Slay right now. And I think Kool-Aid McKinstry can be that from day one. And he just has that dog mentality that all Eagles fans love, Vic Fangio adores, and this city adores as well. This past year with Alabama, sometimes I thought he was better than Terrion Arnold. That's his teammate on the other side for that very good Alabama defense under Nick Saban. He tallied 32 tackles, 2 TFLs, 7 pass breakups, no picks. But that's fine because teams didn't go his way because they knew he was a stud and they saw that number 1 is an absolute ball hawk who has good instincts, good speed. He ran a great 40-yard dash at his pro day despite having a Jones fracture in his foot. That's a little bit of a concern for me because you never want corners who have feet issues, but he's expected to make a full recovery and be back by the time the training camp comes around. He was only targeted 39 times last year because him and Terrion Arnold were holding it down. Gave up 1 touchdown in coverage, 205 yards total, 7 pass breakups, and a quarterback rating of 73.1. If you're concerned about how he wasn't really targeted or thrown toward last year, I'm not concerned about that because in the 2 previous years, he played a lot, and I thought that he put a lot of good plays on tape. And over his career, 93 tackles, 5 TFLs, 23 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. For a cornerback, you want a player who's never going to lose their confidence because corners who do that, they go down in the dumps, they really struggle, especially in a pressure cooker of a city like Philadelphia. You want a cornerback who could turn around, address the ball, high point the football, read the eyes of the wide receiver, and knows when the football is coming their direction. Kool-Aid can do that. And speaking of his confidence, he said, look, everybody wants to rave about 40-yard dashes. That usually means if you have great speed that you're getting beat. I don't have to worry about getting beat all that much. Kool-Aid to the Eagles at number 22 in my 3rd mock draft. That is my selection in the first round for Philadelphia. You can do your own mock. Who would you take at number 22? Very fascinated to see what all of the fans come up with. Eagles back on the board. 50th overall in the second round, and they address still a massive need. And can you imagine the speed from the linebacking core in Philadelphia if you have Devin White and Edgerrin Cooper, the linebacker out of Texas A&M? I think he's going to be a superstar in this league. Reminds me a lot of Fred Warner because he's a smart, heady, cerebral player with physicality and the speed to match it. The thought with this pick, Cooper is blazing fast on tape. He can really range from sideline to sideline. He plays with hustle. He plays with toughness. He plays with grit. He plays with a non-stop motor. And like Kool-Aid McKinstry, I'm trying to remake the attitude of this defense. That's why I wanted Philadelphia to bring back C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That's why I advocated for the Eagles to sign Devin White. We need that swagger back on the defensive side of the football for Philadelphia. I think I got my swagger back. We're doing that here with Kool-Aid McKinstry and Edgerrin Cooper. Last year with the Aggies, 12 games played, notched 84 tackles, 17 TFLs. So he can really read and diagnose how to make plays against the run. He had 8 sacks, so you can use him as a blitzer and as a delayed blitzer. 2 forced fumbles, 2 pass breakups, right place, right time, often when you turn on the tape, and just has a knack for making those big plays. His coverage numbers, targeted 16 times, gave up 14 catches, 132 yards, but no touchdowns. Those 2 pass breakups, quarterback rating of 101, has to get a little bit better in coverage. There's no doubt about that. But I'm looking at the physical traits here, and then I'm looking at Vic Fangio being able to develop the player here. Steady production at the college level, wasn't injured a lot, so steady durability and availability, very important. 58 tackles, 61 tackles, 84 tackles in his last 3 years at the college level. I would just love a young franchise linebacker. Devin White is on a 1-year deal. Outside of that, linebacker question is a big question. What can the Eagles get from Nakobe Dean? Not sure we can bank on him. Edgerrin Cooper is my answer. Few picks later, we're going to go wide receiver here with the 53rd overall pick. Ricky Pearsall is a player who a lot of draft evaluators really like, and you put him in the slot alongside A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith. Ricky Pearsall is a fast and shifty slot receiver. One word to that, sheesh. You think about the possibilities of this offense with the aforementioned Brown and Smitty, with Dallas Goedert, with Saquon Barkley, and Ricky Pearsall. It's been a long time since Philadelphia's had that classic slot with good footwork, good route running ability. I know they've utilized DeVonta Smith there. You can continue to use him on the inside because you have your X and A.J. Brown, and Smitty can also play there too. Very good testing numbers for Pearsall coming out of Florida. Stands at 6'1", 189 pounds. Good vertical leap at 42 inches. So the explosiveness and the quick twitch is certainly there. He ran a 4.41 40-yard dash, elite shuttle, elite 3-cone, 9.78 out of 10 on the relative athletic score. Also consistent production for him. He can catch the ball, but he can also be utilized as a gadget weapon, end arounds, bubble screens, some reverses. 12 total touchdowns the last 2 years, 17 total touchdowns the last 3 years. Played at Arizona State, went to Florida this past year, 65 grabs, 965 yards with subpar quarterback play. What is the favorite Eagles jersey that you own? I want to know what your favorite Eagles jersey is. I ask you that because is it a Saquon Barkley jersey? Or do you want a Saquon Barkley jersey? If you want one, they're available right now using that link down below me, chatsports.com/Saquon jersey. Use that link. Great deals on a Saquon jersey, but also other Philadelphia Eagles jerseys as well. That link is down below in the comment section and in the show notes of this video. 120 overall. Eagles have a little bit of a break. No picks in that third round, as I said. And they are back in action with 120 overall in the fourth round. Zach Zinter is an interior offensive lineman out of Michigan who may have been a first-round pick or a second-round pick if he did not fracture his tibia and fibula in his leg against Ohio State during Thanksgiving weekend. And there is some risk with taking a player like this, but it's a broken bone, and a broken bone can heal. It's not like you have to worry about a ligament, ACL, Achilles. It's a broken bone, and when I was at the College Football Playoff National Championship back earlier this year in January for Michigan-Washington, he suffered that injury in November. He was walking off the plane in January. Now, hasn't been able to test in the pre-draft process, but this is a really special player who was an All-American this past year and a second-team All-American the year before that. Pro Football Focus stats on 649 snaps in 2023, overall grade of 76.6. He gave up 0 sacks. He surrendered 0 hits, just 5 hurries. Keep in mind, J.J. McCarthy, very mobile quarterback behind him, and 0 penalties. So a smart player. He's been, before that injury, a durable player, just an unfortunate injury which happened, and he's been a top-tier offensive lineman. Eagles have a need along the offensive line. At the very worst, very good depth option for the Birds here. Miles Cole, edge rusher out of Texas Tech. This might be a little bit of a reach, but we see reaches happen all the time. And I'm going with him at 161 overall just because of the athletic traits that he possesses and what he can become down the road. It's going to be a hit or a miss, but you take risks in the NFL draft. The thought with this pick, he is 6'6", 280 pounds. This player has a lot of potential, and you can use him in a hybrid way, outside, inside. I like the future that he could have for Philadelphia here. Sione Vaki, one of the most fascinating players in this draft. I doubt that he's available at 171 overall, but in this mock draft simulator, he was. He played running back and safety with Utah. Just a great all-around athlete. Isaac Garendo, one of my draft crushes, running back out of Louisville, 4.3 40-yard dash. He also has some size to him. And then Kamani Vidal. You want to go another running back here? You go with him out of Troy. You could go defensive tackle. You could go tight end, couple of different positions, but I'm going best player available, keeping in mind that Kenneth Gainwell is in the final year of his deal. Outside of that, running back room, it's not looking all that good. How about you reset the running back clock with a couple of late rounders right there? Many of you will ask about defensive tackle. Some of you have said, Chase, Philadelphia has to go defensive tackle in round 1. I disagree. You have Jalen Carter. You have Jordan Davis. You have Milton Williams and Moro Ojomo. All solid players. It's time for them to step up into those larger roles. Grade the mock draft. A, B, C, D, or F. Mock drafts are so funny and polarizing because some people will say, great. Other people will say, you suck, F. Let me know. Seeing some responses to the favorite Eagles jersey. Deep Space, Foles, Horace, Jerome Brown, Iron Mike, White Reggie White, an Acid Dye Dawkins jersey. Very cool. Kriegel is saying hi from Italy. Hello, thanks for watching from overseas. Black Westbrook, 32 Waters. Reggie Brown, that's an OG jersey. Number 1, Jalen Hurts Super Bowl jersey, and number 2, Rookie Hurts. Nice.
Wow,
from
Rookie
NTC
Hurts
Panda.
is a cool one to have, man.
Yeah. My favorite Eagles jersey of all time, Brian Dawkins. My second, because he's just such a legend, and because they're just drippy, Kelly Green, Jason Kelsey.
Oh, yeah, that's such a sweet jersey,
Yeah,
man.
I also have a Kelly Green Deshaun Jackson from the 2010 season. I think that was the 75th anniversary year because there's a 75th anniversary patch on that jersey. That's tight. Black Brian Westbrook. Irving Fryer, I think, was my first one. Him and Ricky Waters. I still have the Irving Fryer one. We put that on the show, even though it's very small on me. It's like a muscle shirt.
That was funny.
Lito Shepard, Jeremiah Trotter, Terrell Owens, all jerseys that I have at the crib. We have not gotten a Super Chat yet on today's show. If you want to pop the Super Chat cherry, here's our Super Chat menu. All Super Chats get a shout out. $10, you enter our April jersey race. We're going to announce our winner of the jersey after our mailbag for March. $20, Eagles beer cheers. $50, you sign this Philadelphia Eagles helmet. $100, shotgun and a beer. Wow, a Pro Line Ricky Waters. I know that I'm getting old, and I know that some of you are getting old when you talk about Pro Line. I have a Deuce Staley Puma jersey when Puma was the jersey sponsor for the NFL, and then Reebok was for a long time before Nike took over. Peter Thurman giving me a B+, Bird Gang Eagles B, Nubs Crub A, Dragon A+, Jake A+, John Oden B, Peter Thurman a Black Vic, nice. All right, how many questions do we have in here?
Let's see. The people have been doing pretty good, but we could use some more questions. So plenty of opportunity here for you to get a question on the show. Shout out to Bird Gang Eagles, Brazzy Smacks, Jake, Brian Reed, Reed Bartkiss, all getting questions in. John Oden.
Here's our guy Paul. You can't forget Javon Curse and Trent Cole. I don't think I had a Javon Curse jersey nor a Trent Cole jersey, but both really good players. Curse obviously had that short stint with Philadelphia, but during that Super Bowl year, when they made it to Super Bowl 37, he was tremendous. And then Trent Cole, top 5 all-time in sacks. Great player. Great player. Got a Silver Vic jersey from John T.
Wow.
My Waters is a Russell Athletic. That's another OG one. Kelly Green Eagles, Reggie White with the Jerome Brown patch from Kevin Bonds. That's a great jersey right there. All right, let's do our mailbag here. We could pop up Paul's Super Chat too.
Let's see here.
Lion Fighter, he was watching Jeremy Chuggs a little bit earlier. I heard Jeremy Chuggs say during the Stephon Diggs live, this question coming in from Lion Fighter. And I'm like, LFX is supporting the chat sports movement? Hell yeah.
That was awesome. We heard your name. You're like, oh.
Yeah. I said
we
to
know
Kip,
that guy.
I was like, LFX is watching Texans.
Big time move.
That's a legend right there.
Big time move for them.
All right.
Last chance to get the questions in. We're starting the mailbag, so if you want to get your question on the show, get it in right now. Right now. Just like Lion Fighter, just like Iron Mike did, use the hashtag Eagles. Send in a super chat. You'll get it in at the start of the show, like Paul.
Let's go. Texans fan since 2002 from LFX. Eagles fan since 1983. So you saw David Carr get drafted to Houston, and he thought he was going to be the franchise. But then Houston forgot, oh yeah, we probably need a good offensive line for a young quarterback, don't we? Iron Mike Cole would be a sweet jersey. I miss my Trotter jersey. I've kept all of mine pretty much. All right, mailbag to round things out. We're going to take your questions here on Eagles Now. So let's do it. Always good to chop it up with all of the real ones here on the show. So get those questions in last call, hashtag Eagles, or send in a super chat. Coming your way on today's Philadelphia Eagles Now, we're going to open up the floor, take your questions from all of our real ones right here on Philadelphia Eagles Now. The subscribers have questions and hot takes, and we're going to pop them up here on the show and react and answer all of them. We get it started with Bird Gang Eagles. Will the Eagles have some good picks going into the draft? We actually can give you a look at all of the draft selections that Philadelphia has right now, a total of 8 of them. They originally had 9, but then they traded a pick away to get back Kenny Pickett to be the backup quarterback behind Jalen Hurts. So Philadelphia on the board, round 1, pick 22 overall. Round 2, 2 selections there, 50 and 53. A 4th-round pick at 120. Round 5, 161 overall, and then 171 and 172. And then Philadelphia rounds out the draft there, round 6, pick 210. You can take a screenshot of that so that you can inform your friends when they have a question for you what the Eagles picks are, and you can just thank us later. Brazzy Smacks, I get the multiple reasons why Howie Roseman did it. I think he's talking about the Hassan Reddick trade. I didn't want to do the team thing because he knew this was his last chance of getting the bag. Number 2, he might not play hard. It may open up holes and break. So Brazzy Smacks talking about Hassan Reddick here. And we're live on Eagles Now as of this recording, and that's our poll question. What did you think of the Hassan Reddick trade? 38% thumbs up, 62% thumbs down. Brazzy Smacks brings up an interesting point that Hassan Reddick was chasing sacks. That's something that Jeff McClain talked about on 97.5 The Fanatic on Wednesday morning that I thought was pretty interesting. And Fletcher Cox kind of alluded to that during the season, that some players were chasing numbers and chasing sacks. They weren't really playing within the scheme. And that surprised me to a certain degree because Hassan Reddick always played with effort. He's a premier edge rusher in the game. He has 4 consecutive years of 10-plus sacks. He's a special, special player, and the Eagles probably would not have gone to the Super Bowl without his services in 2022. But if he was selfish and chasing sacks and not playing within the scheme, that's a little bit of an issue. I never put stock into what Dan Sileo says, but he said that Vic Fangio met with Hassan Reddick, and Reddick didn't like the plan that Fangio had for him in that defense. Fangio does ask his edge rushers to drop back in coverage. It's just not a strong suit for Hassan Reddick. The 3 reasons that I gave for why the Eagles may have traded him away, because I wouldn't have. I don't get rid of special players, especially at an important position of hunting the quarterback. Number 1, his asking price was too high. He probably wanted well north of $20 million. Philadelphia wasn't willing to go that steep. Number 2, they're trying to get younger at the position. Bryce Huff, 26. Nolan Smith going into year 2. Hassan Reddick will be 30 years old this year. And then number 3, what if I told you that Philadelphia didn't want to pay Hassan Reddick because they want to use that money toward a DeVonta Smith contract extension? Who'd you rather have for the long haul? Smitty, Hassan Reddick. Eagles probably siding with DeVonta Smith. Paul, $2 super chat. You can't forget about Javon Curse and Trent Cole. He's bringing up that with that super chat right there. Thank you so much for your donation, because we asked the people, what is your favorite Eagles jersey of all time? For me, authentic Brian Dawkins Reebok jersey, Kelly Green. I bought that when I was a kid because I knew I'd be able to wear it forever. By the way, jersey with the hoodie underneath, always the best look. My second favorite Eagles jersey is a Kelly Green Jason Kelce jersey. When I get jerseys, I want long-term value. I want to be able to wear them forever. And you're able to do that with franchise legends and franchise icons. So B-Doc, Jason Kelce. I also have Ricky Waters, Irving Fryer from back in the day, Jeremiah Trotter, Brian Westbrook, Lito Shepard, a Kelly Green, Deshaun Jackson from 2010. What is your favorite Eagles jersey? Let me know down in the comment section. LFX, Lion Fighter, higher need for the draft, cornerback or offensive line? I think it's cornerback. You need offensive line depth right now, and you obviously want to have that contingency plan for when Lane Johnson retires, so you could draft a guard who turns into a center, or a guard who turns into a right tackle down the road. You do have a need for a center, depending on what you think of Cam Jurgens. But right now, I think you need a starting corner. And that's on the outside, and it's in the slot. And I hope Philadelphia addresses both of those positions in the upcoming draft. With that, let's ask you this. Who is your biggest draft crush? Which player do you absolutely love in this draft? Let me know. You know what ticketing app I absolutely love? Game Time. Best seats, lowest price guaranteed. And with the Game Time app, the prices drop as the event gets closer. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the start of the event or even an hour after it starts. It's the place to find last-minute seats. And it's really the only ticketing app that gives you a complete peace of mind with your purchase, where you can see the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. There's the Game Time guarantee, which means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less on another app, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your purchase. You can see where you'll be sitting. Citizens Bank Park, we have some images on the screen right here, as well as at the Wells Fargo Center for some Sixers games. But you don't just have to go to a Phillies or Sixers game. Concerts, comedy shows, theater, Game Time has it all. Jake, next up, do you think the Reed extension means that the Eagles are out on Justin Simmons? And he's, of course, talking about Reed Blankenship here. No. And I think it's crazy that people overreacted to that signing. It's $3.9 million guaranteed total over the next 2 years for a UDFA who has made the roster, who's been a steady contributor, who's not afraid to put his hat on the ball carrier, who's played solid safety, who's made some big plays for this Eagles defense. And that is very little money to pay a starter in this league. And if he's a backup, that's a worthy investment for a high-level backup who can also contribute on special teams. It's not like we're talking about a first-round pick here. You're giving $3.9 million to a player who has earned it. You're rewarding him for earning it as an undrafted free agent who has already exceeded any expectations that anybody placed upon him. But it's $3.9 million. It's not a lot of money. Philadelphia still has a lot of cap space left. That does not take them away from signing a player like Justin Simmons. They could still sign Justin Simmons as well. And then you have 3 really solid safeties, 4 solid safeties. If you count Sidney Brown, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Justin Simmons, Reed Blankenship. I think Blankenship can play a little hybrid linebacker as well. Brian Reed, what would be the cap hit if they unemploy James Trashberry, and where would Isaiah Rodgers factor in? I think Isaiah Rodgers is going to have an opportunity to play for this team. Got to come off the gambling suspension, and he's played good football in his life. He's also had returning experience throughout his career. As for the cap numbers for James Bradbury, I'm pulling those up right now. He signed that 3-year, $38 million deal. If he were to be cut pre-June 1, $15 million in dead money, $10.8 in cap savings. If he were to be cut post-June 1, $4.3 million in dead money, literally $0 in cap savings. But then there's some money that you have to eat after that as well. So it's just really hard for Philadelphia to move off of him because of the financials there. Brian Reed, if you're a soccer player, I hope you score some goals. Or if you're a goalie, you're not allowing goals. My man, thanks. Reed Bartkus. Chase, I'm liking Brock Bowers more and more each time you talk about him. Look, he's a generational tight end. And we talked about Brock Bowers on the show last week. And obviously it's a hypothetical. If he were to fall to number 22, or if he were to fall in the mid to late teens where Philadelphia really likes the player, they think by far he's the best player available because he's probably a top 10 player in this draft class overall, would they trade up for him? Or would they take him at 22, as the post-Dallas Goedert plan? But in the meantime, when you have Goddard on this roster, you play Brock Bowers and Dallas Goedert. Bowers is your pass-catching tight end. Goddard is your pass-catching tight end and your blocker. They already like to use a lot of 2 tight end sets. They've done that with Dallas Goedert, Jack Stoll over the last couple of years. Jack Stoll now at the New York Giants. Now Goddard could fulfill that role as a much better weapon and pass catcher. Very difficult for defenses to adjust and to counter and to game plan against A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, Brock Bowers, and Dallas Goedert. And Brock Bowers could end up being one of the best tight ends in the league, and he's the guy who takes over once Goddard's contract expires. Maybe use Goddard as a trade piece. A lot of options there. But I do think a team like the New York Jets at number 10, they can take Brock Bowers. And they've really loaded up both sides of the ball last 2 off seasons. If Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, that team can be dangerous. Iron Mike, 462, scale of 1 to 10. How comfortable are we without any more free agency signings? Can we go to my Eagles' remaining needs there, Chip? Because I think cornerback is a massive need. Outside corner and slot corner. In free agency, you lost Sua Opeta and Jack Driscoll, so you need to bring in some offensive line depth. Edge rusher is still a need. Defensive tackle, maybe a little bit of a need. Wide receiver 3 because Devontae Parker and Paris Campbell are not my answers. Backup running back, linebacker, safety. So on a scale of 1 to 100, how would I grade this Eagles roster right now? 80, 85? I mean, the premier talent is certainly there. Deucing Gaming. How much of a role will Nolan Smith play next year? He had 91 pass rushing snaps, if I'm not mistaken, last year for Philadelphia. He's going to at least triple or quadruple that this upcoming year. Nolan Smith is going to play a pivotal role as an edge rusher and pass rusher for Philadelphia in 2024. That's part of the reason why Philadelphia is moving off of Hassan Reddick, because they have confidence that Nolan Smith is going to take that next step. And I thought he showed some flashes in that playoff game against Tampa Bay. He was one of the few players who actually played well, like the hustle, like the speed. He ran, 4.3, 4.4, 40-yard dash in the pre-draft process. Has bend, has twitch, needs to get a little bit bigger, but I'm a fan of Nolan Smith. Did you like the Hassan Reddick trade? Y for yes, N for no. Let us know. Be sure to subscribe to the show for more draft content coming your way all throughout April. And as always, go Birds. Adrian Hawthorne! E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles! D-A, 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 DeAdrian Hawthorne, a $100 super chat. Thank you for supporting the show, my man. That definitely requires a big celebration. That's incredible. Thank you for that, my brother. And that's going to be a shotgun for me.
Legendary stuff. Wow. Everyone type DA in the chat, man.
DA or DH? We said DA because DeAdrian.
DA, DH, whatever you got to do, show some love to DeAdrian, man.
We'll go
show
DA,
some love.
DH in the chat here. What a goat. What a goat. All right. That's going to be a shotgun for me.
Woo!
Thanks to DeAdrian.
It's almost 5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It is somewhere. You know what? On the East Coast right now, where y'all are, probably it is 5 o'clock. So there you go. Chug, 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 chug. Woo! That's a real one.
DeAdrian. All right, Chip, before we hop on out of here, and by the way, if you want to send in a super chat, is anybody going to top DeAdrian Hawthorne right there?
Wow.
We are about to give away our March jersey.
Oh,
raffle.
yeah.
So who's going to win our Philadelphia Eagles jersey for the month of March? Look at all of these names on the screen.
It's loaded.
All of these names are people who kindly donated a super chat to the show and sent in a super chat. So all of these people sent in. Oh! DeAdrian again!
Oh!
E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles! Another 100.
Wow.
How about it, man?
Oh, my goodness.
What a guy right there. What a guy. DeAdrian, send me an Instagram message right now. We are going to send you a Chat Sports shirt. We're going to send you a Chat Sports shirt.
You can see his Instagram at the bottom right now. If you don't already know
Instagram
it.
on the bottom. We've interacted on Instagram before, but in case you can't find it, DeAdrian, I do have 26,000 followers. At Chase_senior. And now let's give away our jersey. So, what I was saying is that anybody in the month of March, and we had free agency, had a couple of live shows, who sent in a super chat, $10 or more. And it could have been 5 $10 super chats, which would have been 5 entries. We thank you so much for donating to the show, and we want to say thank you by sending you an Eagles jersey. We're going to do the same thing for April. So anybody who sends in a super chat, $10 or more, DeAdrian now has 2 submissions. We're going to give away another Eagles jersey. And whoever wins it, and you got to claim your prize, you can choose what Eagles jersey you want as long as it's available. We're going to send it to you. So let's see who wins it here. And let's spin that wheel in 3, 2, 1, go!
Around it goes.
Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? It's KB, but Paul was next in line. So is KB watching the show right now?
KB!
Is KB watching the show? David Marcella! F. Trizzy, I want the jersey.
F. Trizzy.
That's going to be an Eagle beer cheers. Cheers to you, my brother.
Yeah, I'm KB.
KB with the Eagle emoji. Is KB here to claim? Because if not, Louisiana Paul, he was next in line there. Deucing Gaming. Yeah, I'm KB. Is KB watching? Because if not, Paul C might get the jersey. I'm going to give KB 24 hours to reach out. It is 4:40 Central Time. 5:40 Eastern Time. Paul, I don't think we've interacted. Oh, no, I have your address from Gmail, right? Let's see.
General Assault, I'm KB. With a real KB, please stand up.
All right, I have Paul's address. So if KB does not reach out within 24 hours, Paul, I will reach out. My email, chase@chatsports.com. I'm on X, Chase_senior. Chipper's about to flash the email here. And then I'm on Instagram at Chase_senior as well. KB, tick, 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 tick. 24 hours to reach out. If not, Paul gets the jersey. Marcella F. Trizzy, I want the jersey. So David Marcella now in the running again for the month of April. Deucing Gaming. I'm Paul and KB. Chip, you want to do a beer bong for DeAdrian?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Chip will do a beer bong for DeAdrian. I did the one shotgun. Chip will now do the beer bong for DeAdrian. General Salt said give it to Hawthorne. We're going to give him a shirt. We're sending him a shirt. And now he's in the running for April. Chip's going to go get his beer bong, and then we'll sign off. John Oden, did I see the Stephon Diggs trade? I did. And for Buffalo, I went through my AFC power rankings. I'm not even sure where Buffalo is right now. Their number one wide receiver is Khalil Shakir. That's an issue. And in my AFC power rankings, Chiefs, Texans, Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Chargers, Dolphins, Steelers, Jags, Bills, Colts. The AFC is loaded. I mean, whatever top 7 teams get into the playoffs, it is going to be a start-to-finish race. And so Buffalo, with that Josh Allen contract now hitting the books, is really cleaning house. And that's my biggest takeaway for Buffalo. For Houston, absolutely love what they've done. They are loading up, and they're going all in while C.J. Stroud is on his rookie contract. And I love the roster that they put together, and they're going to be competing with Kansas City to win the AFC crown. David Marcella, I need to add to the Chat Sports wall. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, because you've been a legend who's gotten some winners here with the Super Chat menu. Chris Burks, KB, I'm a KB. I love it. I love it. Chip's going to do that Mirbanga, and then we're going to hop on out of here.
Do it, baby. Shout
some
out
more
DA.
videos to record for the content daddies after this.
The content daddies. Shout out DA, baby.
Shout out to EA.
Down the hatch.
The Adrian.
Adrian.
Deucing Gaming, not going to lie, respect to the Texans. Exactly. They're going to be a very fun team to watch. Shout out Deucing Gaming. Chip, taking it down. Woo! General Salt, Houston Texans have a bright future. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. All right, KB, the clock is on, my man. If not, the jersey goes to Paul. DeAdrian Hawthorne, our Super Chat MVP on this August 3rd of 2024. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. For Chip, I'm Chase. This has been Philadelphia Eagles Now. Thanks for watching and supporting the show. We'll catch you next time. See ya!